Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make a ribbon wreath which is woven. I think it's a little bit of a tongue twister, to be honest. I might have invented. I'm just giving you a little look of how it is around the card. So it's got a little bit of dimension on there. You can see it has a little bit of dimension. It is really cute ribbon to make. You can make them smaller and have them as ornaments on your Christmas trees, etc., like this little one, but they are quite flimsy. So if you were going to do that, I'd probably suggest you made some card rings and put them onto there. You could put one on each side of it because they are very flexible, but they look great around the top of a bottle and things like that as well. You could have them as braids, for your hair, all sorts of things you can do with these. They're really cute. Now you do need a double-sided ribbon. Now I say that this is a double-sided ribbon which is quite see-through. You can see the pattern on the other side. So what happens is you get that effect where you can see the snowflake coming through on the other side, because this is the right side of your braid. If you wanted to, you could use the wrong side, which shows all of the right side of the ribbon. So it's up to you if you like that effect. When you turn it, I've never put it on this way because it sort of like lays flat. You've got a good flat part there for gluing, but you could, like I say, use it that way if you wanted to. So that's one way around it. What I'll do is I'll make it with this ribbon today to show you when you've got a pattern, that's quite, specific, I suppose, because you've got your mittens, your hearts and things like that on there, to show you how much of it actually shows when you do the pattern. And also I'm going to show you how to do the end with it when you finish it off with this big one that I've done, which I would have to put on MDF rings, and I think I'll use this one and have like holly and things on it. It look really pretty. So I'm going to use this one to show you how to finish the ends, because I think that's important. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll get started and I'll show you how to do this. So what you're going to need is a length of ribbon. Now, when I made this one, okay, this was about 100 inches, which is about, well, it's roughly 8.5 feet. Is that right? Or 2.5 meters. So I think it is 8.5 feet. Sorry if I've got that wrong. So this is about 10 mil, 3/8 of an inch wide, but you can use any width and any type. So this was a satin one. This is grosgrain, as you can see there. Now, just a note on this, when you do a double-sided bow and you tie it as bunny ears, it comes out wrong, and I have got a video tutorial on how to tie your bow so that it all shows right. So if you do like a bunny ear, you get the tails all run the wrong way. So that's a separate video. I'll put a link in the description so that you can get, this is, for instance, it's got Merry Christmas right on it, nothing on the back, but I've managed to tie it so that you can see Happy Christmas, not Merry, Happy Christmas on there. So that's just another little extra that I'll show you in the description. So to get started, what you need to do, and I don't need to do all of this actually, but you take your length of ribbon. I'm not going to cut it off the reel because I'm going to also show you how to undo it. So what you do is you start at halfway. So you take your length of ribbon and you get it at the halfway point. Now when you've got the halfway point, you just bring the right side over the top of the left and make a loop like this, okay? So once you've got your loop, you then take your left hand and you pick up a loop. So I'm just getting the two bits together, wrong sides together, and making a loop like this. Now that loop is going to go underneath there. Okay, so that's underneath. I'll do it again. So right over left, pick up a loop. It's probably a little bit bigger, that loop. Pick up a loop and then just go from the back up through the top, and then let everything go apart from this loop here. And with this side, and I'm holding the tail as well, so I'm holding finger, thumb on the top and two fingers there resting, and just pull that. Okay, so you can only pull it so far. If you try to pull it any further, it just screw up and you'll have to reopen it a little bit, but that's basically what you're going to get. So I'll show you that again. Let's just undo it. And the good thing about it is if you've gone wrong, you can undo the whole thing. It's not a problem, so just practice. So loop over, left over, right over left, make a loop like this with the wrong sides together, put it underneath that loop, bring it up, I'm letting go of everything, I'm just holding on to that loop I've put underneath, and I'm pulling the right hand side just to get that joined together at the bottom there. So you just pull that like that, and you can see you have it flat, just pinch it flat like this. The back looks like that, it's twisted there, that's how they all go, don't worry about that. So what you'll see now is you've got a loop facing towards the right. Okay, so you pick up this right side, so the side, always remember that the loop, the next loop is going to be on the side that this is facing to. So you pick up this side now and you make a loop. I don't know if I need to zoom out just a little bit, I think I will. Right, that's a little bit better. So your loop is coming through to the right hand side, so pick up a loop. So I just put it around my finger and thumb like that. It's just the wrong sides are just coming together on that bit. It's a straight bit and you're just pushing it in to form a loop, and that's going to go inside of that loop like that. And it doesn't matter how long it is, obviously you don't want it ridiculously long, but just push it through. So you've got two loose loops. I'll tell you what, this is a tongue twister of a video. So now you've put it through the right hand side on the right hand facing loop, and now this left hand side piece here, which was the last one you did, is what you're going to pull down. And what you'll see is you're making squares as you go along, so you can only pull it that far. If I pull it that far, I'm twisting it. I only want it to go there. The ribbon's going to automatically not want to go any further anyway and ping back. So now we've got it pointing to the left, so pick up your left tail, join those two together wrong sides and form a loop, and then pop that through that loop like that. Now if you haven't pulled enough, just send some more through, okay, because you've got to be able to fit a loop through on the other side, and you're pulling them in like this one. So where this loop was big last time, now we're going to pull the right hand side and get that one down to there, so it's forming that square again. You can see it's forming squares. Now again, this loop pointing to the right, pick up the right hand side tail, form a loop, pop it through like this, and then we're going to be pulling this side down. So it's always the opposites. So now the loop is facing that way, we can grab this side, make a loop and pop it through there. So that's all you need to do, guys. You just keep going with this. I'll do a couple more. So we pull that side, it's facing to the right, pick up the right tail, form a loop, put it through the loop you've just made, and then pull the opposite side, the tail, and form that like that. So now you're facing left, so you're going to pick up your left tail, pop that one in, pull it through, and slide that tail down. Loop in like this, pull that down and pull it tight. Form a loop, put it in to the other loop on the opposite side, pull it close and not too close, so just to form a square. Pick up the tail, pop it in, pull the other side. The side you've just pulled is the one that you're always picking up as well. So left hand side, pop that through, pull this down, right hand side down, holding the right hand side, form a loop, pop it through the loop already there, and then form this, pull this side down. So what you'll see, I'm just going to get all these bits out of the way, is you've got this pattern going on. So like I say, double-sided ribbon. Now we had mittens, and I said to you there's, like you can see here on this tail, that you've got your mittens and your heart. So you do get the print coming through. You do see a whole mitten there and little bits of snowflakes and things like that. This is what the reverse looks like, and when you try to stick that on your card, it's probably going to look a little bit strange to go in this way. This is the right side. Like I say, this side lays flat and this side is all bumpy lumpy. So to finish off, what you do is when you're here, and I'm going to show you on the big one as well, so you would cut the ribbon. I'm going to put one more through because I don't want to cut this. It's on a reel and I've not made it long enough, so you can see you run out of ribbon quite quickly, so you need to make sure. I reckon you need about 4 times the length of the radius you want. So however round you want your wreath to be, times it by 4 for your ribbon. So you get to this point now, so you would normally form a loop, you pull this tight and you'd form a loop, but you don't to end it, you just slide that through that loop and that ends that. And then you would pull this one over and then cut it. But to join the loop together, you'd obviously need this to be much longer. I'm going to show you on the long one because it's bigger and you can see better, and it's just how I like to finish them off. I think they work well together. So this one is a much bigger wreath, like I say. That's the wrong side, that's the right side, and you can see it's got little bits of holly on it, and it's grosgrain again but wider. So you've come up to your end, you're still working on it this way, and you've got your end there and your loop. So this loop, you don't form the loop and pop it through like that. You're going to actually thread the thing over. So you turn it over, it's that way, and you make sure, because you're just following that pattern beneath it. So you see, you want it to be the wrong side, and then you pull this one, and then this will go over in a minute. You can tie them off, you can do all sorts of things, but if you're making the wreath and you want it to join, you want it to come around, don't you? So you want it to come around and join. Now what I like to do is, you see this one here, I always think that this one sits on top quite nicely there. So if you look at it like that, or you can go a long one if you want. If you want to have a little bit more underneath it, you can go along one more, or you can just go on the end. Now if you're just going to go on the end, you just take this one that's on the left and just thread it through that loop there, like that. And then this one needs to come over the top because you haven't finished it off. The pattern is still, you need it to be matching this, so it needs to flip over. So you turn it over and you thread that through as well, through the same loop that you just went through. So you just thread it through like that, and that will get them together. So just pull the pair of them like that, and you can see you can sit that one on top, pull those over, and it's really quite a good continuation when you do it like that. These two you can bend to the back like this, you can glue them, you can sew them, you can tape them. You can also use one of them to form a loop if you're going to hang it. So you've got your loop there to hang with. If you want it to be round the other way, you can do it like that. So you can have it like that, so you can cross it over. So you can make your loop and then sew it down or glue it down or tape it down. It depends what you're going to do with the end project, really. So you can see that's all you need to do. You can tie that off if you want to, but when they've disappeared, it does form like quite a good wreath. And this is where you would cover up with a bow anyway, or some holly or whatever you're going to do. So you can see this makes a much bigger wreath anyway. I will zoom out a little bit so you can see. There you go. If you open it all up, obviously these ends won't be there, they'll be cut off, tucked in and glued at the back. So you would just make it so it looks nice. This one can pull over, you see, it pretty much fits on top of that square underneath, and it forms a nice shape. So you can see there you've got a nice wreath that you can decorate. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Bye.